Yo, my peoples, what's up? Welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. Jason here, and today I have a solo playthrough for Parks. This one is with the Nightfall and the Wildlife expansions. It is a peaceful, casual strategy game for 1 to 5 players in which you are playing hikers. And you are going to follow the trail, gather resources as you walk, eventually paying for cards which represent visiting parks. Representing many national parks here in America. The artwork here is beautiful. This one is meant to be very relaxing, not exactly taxing on the brain, but with enough challenge to keep you interested. This one has a very simple rule set, even with the expansions. So we're going to jump right in to the first round, right after these channel announcements, and then get to Parks. And so here is the center of the game, the park cards. This is where you're going to get most of your points. I have cards shuffled in from both the expansions, so the deck is pretty full. So this is the basic card. It's worth 4 points, which is pretty good. You got to turn in all these resources when you get to the end of the trail. There's other ways that you'll be able to buy cards, but getting to the end of the trail is the main one. That's pretty simple and straightforward. This is a Nightfall card. Same deal, where you have to turn in these resources, and this number means 4 of any, basically. But the twist is that you get to do an instant thing. In this particular case, turn in one of your water tokens for a picture, which is a point. Anytime you see this, think points. So a little bit of a wrinkle to flavor up your game. The wildlife cards work pretty similar with that instant, although they tend to require animals, which are wild. Get it? Haha! Wild. Wildlife. Oh, okay. In addition, we have the bison from the wildlife expansion. They're really simple. If you buy this card, you'll be able to trade 1 resource for a wild resource. And the buffalo moves along and then wraps around. Not too much to the bison. They're just there for a little bit of flavor and fun. Turns are really easy in parks. At the beginning of every turn, I'm playing green, and you'll be able to move your hiker anywhere along the path. They cannot backtrack, so you need to be able to plot out the most efficient course for what you're trying to do. So I'm going to move this one over here, and now I have a choice, thanks to the Nightfall expansion. Normally, I would take these tokens, and these tokens, you lay them out fresh every single turn. So I'll take that one, and also these 2 sun. The Nightfall expansion gives me a chance to go to camp instead. So then if I wanted to go to a camp, I would not take the weather token. Instead, I would take this camp tent thing, and then I would place it on one of these 3 pieces. They tend to be some more advanced actions. So I'll explain those as we go. But for the most part, because we are just kind of learning, let's go ahead and just take the resources and go on about our turn. In the normal course of a game of parks in the multiplayer mode, these would be laid out. These are gear cards. There are chances to upgrade your character so that you can hike a little bit more efficiently, get more stuff going on. In the solo, they do not appear at the beginning. Instead, these become the bot actions. Every card has a cost, and so what that turns into the solo is this is how much the bot is going to move. 1, 2, or 3 spaces. In this particular case, they move 1 space. The bot represents some park rangers walking after me, making sure I don't make a big mess of the joint. Any mess over here? No mess. We're good. And so it is now my turn. I can go with either one of these hikers, the front one or the back one. So if I wanted to occupy the same space as any hiker, whether it's my own or the bot's hiker, I would need to use a campfire. I only get 1 of these per trail, so it kind of keeps you going. So that you're not lingering too long. So I'm not going to use the campfire right now. Save that for a future turn. Let's go ahead and move over here. Nice and simple. Let's get 1 sun and 2 water. Here is my personal area. As you see, I got a little bit going on. The relevant one here is the canteen. So you start with 1 of these and you can get more along the way. Whenever you gather water, you have a one-time opportunity to fill your canteen. So you can't fill the canteen with water that you have just kind of lying around. You need fresh water that you just gathered from wherever you were. So I'm going to use one of those waters that I got from the ocean, and I'm going to turn one of my sun tokens over there into a wild creature. So I can use this for any single one resource. This is now filled. Unless I get some kind of action that lets me do something with this, I will now have to wait until the end of the turn to take this off and fill it again. The other elements that you see over here, here's the first player token. I'm going to get a point at the end of the game if I have that. You saw the campfire. This is my year-end goal. It's a personal goal. There's a deck over there. I'll be able to draw more eventually when I land on that spot, but for now, I get a point per 3 suns on parks, so I'm going to prioritize parks that have some suns on them for extra points. This is the camera. If I end the trail with the camera, then I get to do an extra little thing. Usually get one of these photo tokens, which is worth a point. So I have that right now. Let's see if the bot ninjas that one from me. They might, who knows. And so now it is the bot turn. It so happens that there is no suspense over here because they can only move 1, 2, or 3, which is the cost of the gear cards or potential. But if they move 1, they would have to move into the next open space. Same thing with 2, move to the next open space. 3, they just hop there. So you pull it anyway because it's creating the market. I will be able to buy these cards at the end of the round. So that is a 2. And just like I said, moving the front ranger because my ranger's in front. Go to 2. Oh, sorry about that. Go ahead and contemplate your navel in peace. Right here, making sure that camp is nice and tidy. The sun is shining. Everything is beautiful. When that ranger landed on the forest, they don't just tidy up that sun, they actually acquire it. They put it here. This is the solo bot, what they're going to do to me eventually. I don't know why the rangers are so mean to me, but that's the way it goes. All right, so as I fill this with suns, when I get to 3, I do this action. If I fill it with water, I do this action. Only one of these 2, and then I would flip down and then turn over the next event. So the top one is keep the next event card face down until it is activated. It's not terrible at all. It's fine. If they trigger the bottom, it is discard all my water. So if I notice that they're collecting a lot of water, I'm going to want to dump all of mine so I don't get hurt by this too much. It is my go. I'm going to move my front ranger again all the way over here. We're going to go camping. So I'm going to move this right there. This means that no one else can claim that. If this was a multiplayer game, I'd be shutting out options for other players, which is totally fine. Going to get that animal that I got and get 5 sun tokens. Animals are wild. Get it wild. I'm not going to get tired of that joke. Look at all that sun that I'm able to collect. And so because my hiker is ahead, they are going to go with their front hiker. They're going to go 2. That would land them on me, but instead they actually land in this space over here. So it does a couple of things. First of all, it discards this card. I can no longer acquire it, which is a bummer, and does not replace it. So my options up top are limited. Good thing that was my primary choice. The other thing that happens is it gets rid of the camera. Had I ended the turn with the camera, which might still happen, but right now I lose it, I would have, at the end of the season, been able to change a resource for a photo, but I can't do that right now. I need my back hiker to land on this spot and do this. Spend 2 resources on a photo and also get the camera. So I don't know if I'm going to do that yet with my back hiker. We'll see. So my back hiker kind of has the run of the place. They can go wherever they want. So they are, So I could go slow and risk the bot getting to things ahead of me. You know what? Why not? Let's go ahead and go slow. Take a nice leisurely pace. Getting 2 waters is outstanding. That gives me 4. This hiker in the back, what are they going to do? They're going to go on a nice leisurely stroll. Thank you for letting me get as many resources as possible. And that is really important because I want to go over here. I want to use my campsite on this. This is, I can change water for animals, kind of attracting the animals to me. And I can do that 3 separate times. That is so good. So I'm going to take these 3 water that I got and I'm going to get 1, 2, 3 animals, which are wild. Get it? Wildlife? I know. Dad jokes. Anyway, let's go ahead and pull this gear. They're going to go ahead and walk another 2. They're going to walk to that ocean that they had cleared out before. All right, so I love it when a plan comes together. Let's go ahead and acquire this. I already have 12. I have to discard down to 12 at the end of the turn. I will. So right now I have the 13, but that's okay. So let's go to the Zion National Park. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 wilds. Buying a park from the jump. So we got my sons, we got my wild, and because we have visited the bison, I get to trade that for a wild. So very, very successful turn. The bison moves. It'll eventually be on a park in the next turns. And then I get the Zion National Park, which combos really great with this one. Had my eye on it, making sure the bot doesn't get it. So it is very likely that the ranger back there will end their turn. Yep, they do. So that'll be 1, 2. They skip ahead and they land over here. They can't get the camera again. They can't discard that centerpiece again. And oh, by the way, the bison would move to the next park card. There are no specific rules for the bison and solo, but that makes sense. Moving to the next park card is that. And I should have refilled when I bought that card over here, the Joshua Tree, for points, some suns, and a couple trees. I don't think I can afford that right now. I'm so close. So both of the rangers are done. I have 2 hikers on the trail. The rule says that if I have 1 hiker on the trail, then they immediately go to the end state. I don't have that. I have the 2. So I have 1 action left. I'm going to use my campfire to move over here. So I can either spend 2 resources, get the picture and the camera, or I can get a canteen. And oh, by the way, I also get this sun token. Let me go ahead and get the canteen. The canteen is more suns. I can't use it this turn, but it's nice to have that for my personal goal. So now it is a rush towards the end. Let's go ahead and buy a park. That last sun came in handy. So that's what my resources look like now. I got 3 sun. Let's go ahead and go for it. Discard them. This animal will be another sun. And then these 2 animals are going to be 2 trees. And that will get me the Joshua Tree. I just buy it. That is excellent. All right. So the bison will appear on this next one, the Petrified Forest National Park. Let's go ahead and move that one over there. In terms of the year-end goal, this doesn't count. This is just resources that I get. When I buy it, it would be this that would count towards the year-end goal. And so that was a pretty big sacrifice because I have no resources and I have no real use for any of these spots. So this spot would be get the first player token and reserve a park. I don't think I have too much that I can reserve. Plus, I can't reserve the one under the bison. The bison is guarding it. This one is buy gear. I spent all of my sun. I would be eligible to buy the top 2 cards over here, or either of them, but I don't have the suns, and that's fine. And I don't have any resources to pick up this water either, so let's just go over here and reserve a park. I'm just going to do this for the lulz. Reserve that, and if I pick it up later, that's great. That was the end of the round. First of all, we turn over the campfire. It is now lit for the next round. We empty all the canteens. We can use these again next round. All of the hikers return to the trailhead, and then I pick up all of these modular pieces, and then I shuffle in one of these 3 advanced trail places. In the wildlife expansion, there are multiple, so you're not going to see the same ones every single time like you would in the base game. Going to go give those a shuffle. When I come back for the second round, it'll be a whole new row, and we're going to be ready to hike once again. All right, so this is the new row. The new tile is a place where you can reuse a filled canteen. That's pretty nice. You notice there are new weather tokens, and I've reset the campsites. There are also brand new parks over here. So we got some lower scoring parks, not much but sun. So we'll see how much I get done there. And here's the thing I forgot to do last time, the season card. So this was last year's season card. I was supposed to have gained a sun whenever I filled my canteen. That was the rule for the round. Sorry, I missed that. This one is a lot easier to track. So it says add sun on the 3 current parks. So whenever I buy those cards, I will get an extra little bit of sun. Don't have to mind that too much. And this weather pattern over here is how I figured out how to lay out the tokens on the track. You just kind of like use that pattern, repeat it until the end. These campsite tiles are double-sided. This was the side it'll flip on 1 and 3. You see that right there. And now I flip to the 2 side and it'll be this side for 2 and 4. So this one lets me trade suns for wilds. This one lets me empty a filled canteen and then get a water. And this one lets me trade a tree for 5 water. And so let's go ahead. I got 2 canteens. I see 2 water right there. 1 water is going to let me trade one of my 2 waters that I have left in the reserve for an animal. That's sweet wild card. Get it? Wild? Ha ha! So funny. And I get to fill this canteen, and I get to get this canteen as well and get 2 suns. All right, let's see what the Rangers do. They are lollygagging. Come on now. Show me some 3-pointers. Those are the best upgrades. So they are going to go ahead and skip here. They're going to acquire this token and put that here. Got to be careful. See which one triggers. All right, next thing I'm going to do, move my front hiker, and we're going to go camping. So let's go ahead and go camping right there. I have 2 suns. Wish I could have done that with 3, but that's okay. I'm at least able to trade those 2 suns for 2 wilds. I won't do it. Too much dad joke for one playthrough. Let's go ahead and get a gear card, a 2 again. Oh my goodness. No 3s. So they're just going to go ahead and skip over here, and they're going to acquire this water, which means that if they acquire 1 more water, they're going to discard all my water. I only have 1 right now, so that's okay. Let's see if I could spend that water before this triggers. I'm going to move my back ranger this time. Let's go ahead and get 2 suns back. I now have 2 suns, 1 water, and 3 wildlife in my reserve. So not near the max. That's pretty good. Come on. 3. That's not 3. You may fail. I haven't been telling you what the upgrades do. The upgrades, basically change things for things. So it's like fill a canteen, get a thing. Change one thing for another thing. They're pretty simple. So it goes 1, 2, and then they skip along all the way to this other spot, which works out for me because there they don't do nothing. All right, let's go ahead and use our back camper. They are going to trigger the campfire action to empty a canteen and get a water. So they are going to empty this canteen. This water does go to my supply. That won't last too long. Get another water, which is immediately going to go in here. I'm going to turn that water into a wild. And that's what I got so far. Got the animals, got the 1 water, which I'm probably going to lose right now. See what happens. I don't think I lost it. My first 3. I want to read the powers here because the 3s are the best powers. You may change a second time when you activate the bison. So, that's actually pretty weak. I don't think I like that too much. But whatever. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. They are going to put the sun on their event. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go over here, get another water, and buy a park. So I'm going to use the water that I just got and 2 wilds in order to get this park. And I'm going to use my last water to change that into a wild because I've satisfied the buffalo. The buffalo gives me a little calf. Is that a cat? Whoa, no, that's a cat. What's a cat doing hanging out next to a bison? No, thank you. So it's going to move over here. I get this in my reserve, and I get the Petrified Forest National Park. And as part of the deal, because of the instance, I get 2 more sun. Let's get some upgrades, baby. What do I get to replace it? I get a park that has no suns on it. Who knows if we're going to get that? Let's see. So you check the Rangers. The Rangers are leading. So the back Ranger is going to go, and they are going to walk 2. They're going to go 1, 2, 3. Love when they land on top of each other and do nothing. This camper is going to go over here. I'm going to get this, and we're going to trade that sun and another sun for the 1 picture. There we go. There's a nice little picture right there. That's worth 1 whole point. And I'm going to get the camera. Hopefully I keep it. So I score another point at the end of the round. We are very close to wrapping up. We have a 2-pointer right there. That's unfortunate because they are going to land there. They're going to take that camera back, which is what that is. Not great. They are going to discard this card. I assume the sun goes with it. I also assume the buffalo moves along. And now this slot is empty. All right, so use it or lose it. Let's go ahead and burn that campfire. Move over here and get a mountain. I'm perfectly fine with that. This one is going to go, and they are going to go 3. So they are going to hit this. That's not great. Not that they block it or anything. I can still go, but they take as a special action when they hit the 3. They're going to take all these 3 upgrades. They're going to reshuffle them back in the deck so I don't get them. Boo! And they're also going to discard this one as well, assuming with the sun. Bison is going to move over there, and I have no prayer of getting that one. So it looks like I'm wrapping up towards the end. So I got some suns. Let's buy some gear. I'm going to land right there. That's the gear spot. I'm going to spend 2 on this gear. Parks cost that much less to visit. That's going to come in handy, especially with my sun-centric strategy. This guy has to get sucked in. You can't just take all the other actions left. They're done. So let's go ahead and buy another gear. What are my options? Binoculars. You may spend, or you may gain an animal instead of 2 water at the ocean. I like my water. Or water pail. When you spend your campfire, you may fill a canteen for free. That sounds pretty reasonable. So let's go ahead and spend 2 more sun and get another piece of camp that I can use to fill my canteens if I don't feel like stopping by a water place. All right. Things are reset. I now get my stuff back. Woohoo! I definitely want that one. Yellowstone National Park. Heck yeah. Arches National Park. That one's also not bad as well. This one means I can draw another year-end goal card, so I might want to aim for this one too. On to round 3. New round means new season. Season of Wonder. When you buy gear, you may change a regular resource into a wild. The exchange sense of this game, here is the new tile. You can trade that wild for more resources. But that's a little bit down the line. Let's take my first hiker and get 3 suns. While I'm here, we can execute this. Parks cost, this gear would be parks cost 2 less water to visit. Oh, I want that. But the important part is this movement right there. The ranger is going to stop by my place. No, they're not. They're going to go over here, and they're going to do what I wanted them to do, which is take this last water. Not that I want them to take it, but that's kind of how it goes. So we go ahead and clean that off. Put that in the discard pile, and then we get a new event. So these stay. So I'm going to get hit with this top one, so maybe it wasn't the best idea. This might be really bad. Move your back hiker to your front hiker. Ooh, that negates a lot of turns. So I got to make sure that the 2 hikers are the same. So then this is not going to be too relevant unless the bot gets really lucky. So it is my go. We are going to go over here, at least delay the bot a little bit, get that sun, and get a park. You knew I was going for it. I get a 1 park discount because of my gear. These 3 animals are forest. I don't think I've gotten a single forest this game. It's all been wild. Yay, wildlife expansion. 5 points. This progresses me towards my end goal. Love it. And I do get a new park because it was me that triggered the card. And so 4 resources, water, and a tree would get me Redwood National Park. We'll see what I go for now. So if I'm in front, it's always the front ranger that goes for the bot. Another 2. There's more 2s and 1s. It is not that there aren't that many 3s, but it is kind of shocking that I've gotten so few. Let's move over here. We're gonna get that water and put it on the event track. Probably gonna get this. They're probably gonna get the sun. So we'll see. All right, so let's go ahead and use my guy. Key is resources. The parks require lots and lots of resources, just random ones. These are the cheap ones, so I'm going to go ahead and start piling those up again. So because the ranger is up front, now the back ranger goes. 3, look at that. So let's go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, right on the filled canteen. I don't have filled canteen, so nuts to you. Not going to you this turn. All right, so now I'm going to use my campfire. This is where I can press multiple buttons at once. So I'm going to go ahead and extinguish my campfire. My water pail, my gear says, when I spend my campfire, I can fill a canteen for free. That canteen is going to be this one, which allows me to trade one of my many suns for a wild, which is really nice. That is going to let me go here. I have to use a fire, even if it's my own guy. I don't know why. Thematically doesn't make too much sense to me because, we should use each other for body warmth, right? Look at that. We even fit. Look at that. They're keeping each other warm, these meeples. Oh, well, we'll just go with what the game says. Anyway, so let's go ahead and take this tent and put it here. Got this mountain a while ago. We're going to cash that in and get 5 suns. Fantastic. So just check back in. This is what my personal area looks like now. I got a full canteen, empty canteen over here, lots of suns. Got stuff to do with those, just letting you know. All right, so the best outcome here will be a 1 or a 2. The back hiker or the back ranger is going to go. It is a 1, and they are just going to go 1. Oh, sorry, you seem to be warming yourself. Oh, that's very nice. And they land over here, don't do anything. So I think this is a good time for this move. I've been calculating when to do it. So we are going to go to here, and we're going to use the tent. Sorry about that. And we're actually going to put it here, which lets us draw from the year deck. We actually draw 2 cards, seeing what we have. These are progress towards end state goals, which will be more points. We love points. All right, so 2 per set of 2, 3, 4 park points, or 1 per water on parks. I barely have any water on parks. So now I have a little bit of more incentive to get certain cards. So it's a set of 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to want another 2, another couple of 3s to hit that a couple times. I think I can do that, especially because I got this reserved. So this was a long time ago. Hopefully I remember to do that before the end of the game. All right, it is now the Ranger's turn. Ranger goes 3. 1, 2, 3. They're going to go there, and they are going to trigger their event. So that's number 3. We go ahead and clear that off. And I move my back hiker to my front hiker. You'll see that when I get back to the game. That's not the worst thing in the world. Denied me 1 ocean. I'll live with it. And the new one, top, is move the active ranger to the site before the trail end. Ugh. Better make sure the timing on that is good. Or deserve a reserved park and all of your wilds. What? Can't let that happen. So I don't know if this is the smartest thing to do because I only have 1 wild in hand, but this action is so good. I'm going to go ahead and take that water. We're going to trade the wild for 4 resources. Now, the rules are specific. If you cannot or don't want to trigger a space, then you can't go there. So I can't just camp there. More dad jokes. And just, occupy it. I have to do the action. So it gets me more resources. I'm at my maximum of 12, all in suns and water. Let's see what the hiker does. I know what the hiker's going to do. They're going to go here. They do it with a 3. There goes all the 3s. And this hiker's ahead, this ranger's ahead. So the back ranger is going to go, oh, this is nice. We're going to give ourselves some body warp too. So let's go ahead and move my front hiker to the gear space and buy some gear. So we got 3 suns, which is going to buy this parks straight up 1 less tree. Haven't been getting many trees, don't have many wilds. That's going to come in super handy. And this season card says when you buy gear, you may do the resource exchange. That's going to be super important because I get to trade this sun for a wild animal. Get it? Meh. So I know that one of the rangers is going to end the turn, or their turn. It just depends on where they go. They're going to go to the 1. And for the 1, they are going to now claim this point token, which is, doesn't matter for the solo bot in terms of order, but it is worth 1 point at the end of the game. And now I cannot get it back, even if I wanted to. And so I can't do this because I only have the 1 wild and I need it. I can't go here because I don't have my campfire. So let's go ahead and end and get a park. And oh, by the way, when they landed in this first spot, they would have discarded this and not replaced it. The buffalo moves here, which makes an interesting choice. I was looking at this, but if I got this one, then I would be able to do the buffalo exchange. I love that, the buffalo exchange. That's outstanding. So let's go ahead and do this. So I have 2 cards that give me discounts. So parks cost 1 less tree to visit and 1 less water to visit. So that wipes both of these out. And 4 random resources. So that's, well, not random, but any resource. We're going ahead and get rid of many of my suns. Trade this sun to the buffalo. Hey, thank you very much. That was delicious. So then they are going to get me. What are they going to poop out for me? An owl. Where'd you keep the owl, buffalo? I have no idea. I keep on saying buffalo and bison interchangeably. That shows you how much of a New Yorker I am. I have no difference what the difference between those 2 is. No idea what the difference is. All right. So I do get the Redwood National Forest. and I get to pull from the year deck instantly. Now this isn't a choice, it is just free points. All right, 2 per 3 parks with mountains. How am I looking for parks with mountains? Pathetic. 2 per 3 parks? Oh my god, I might as well have been blank. Never mind. I get a new park, which is the Rocky Mountain National Park, more wildlife to get, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull another one just because both of my hikers are in station, so it doesn't matter. And so I'm just resetting the row right now. What does matter is, and this hiker actually does not get a last go. Once this hiker goes to the end, then every other hiker gets pulled in, including the ranger. They're going to end, and that is the end of the 3rd round. 4th and final round, set the weather pattern right there. Gain water when you gain a canteen card. I haven't barely gained any canteen cards throughout the game. We'll see if I gain one more. I don't know. As a reminder, here's the current state of things in my personal area, and the bot might not fire off this one right here, or they might, who knows, or one of them. And this is the state of my resources: 2 wilds and 3 water, and I have 1 lonely picture. I have completely ignored pictures. What a shame. Here is a new special tile. I give every other player 1 sun out of the supply, which would give the bot 1 progress on their card, but that allows me to take the action of any other trail that does not have a person on it. So risk reward trade-off. And look at that. I got a open trail right here of something that is attractive. I'm going to use the park action to not forget that I have this reserved. So I get the 1 water discount because of gear. So that's just going to be 1 wild token. And that will be I'm completing the set 2, 3, 4. So happy to have that. And hey, check that out. I get a canteen. This canteen will allow me to trade any forest for a picture. Pictures are worth 1 point, and I get a water off of that. So let's go ahead and get that water, fill one of my canteens. Let's go ahead and get started on my suns. The ranger is going to move 3. Okay, out of curiosity, what's the power? Spend your campfire to have your ranger revisit their current site. Oh, that's so good. Too bad. It's the last round of the game. No, I wanted to go there. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yep, I wanted to go there for all that suns and all that water. So let's go over here with the back hiker. I get a sun and a mountain. Compared to some of the other actions that you could do because of the expansion, that base action seems a little bit boring, but necessary. So I know exactly where this hiker is going to go. It doesn't matter, just pulling it for the lulls. So then they have to skip 1, 2, 3. They're going to end up here. Rig that so that they can kind of negate their turn. So the bot is about to make me get rid of all my wild. So let's go over here. I'm going to take this water and trade this for another 4 resources. And so just to let you see it, I'm at my maximum reserve of resources: water, sun, and mountain. So go ahead and get rid of my wilds. I got none. See what the hikers do. Oh man, they're really trying to end this game, aren't they? 1, 2, 3. They go ahead and take the sun. The sun's not going to do anything on their event card, but eventually they will probably hit this water. All right, so I have too many resources to. It actually cuts down your option when you have that many resources. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to get this water, but I'm going to spend that water and another water to get a photo token, which is 1 point. Like that. Even more pretty. And get the camera back, so I'm able to use this for another picture at the end of the round if the bot doesn't ninja it for me first. So we seem to have paired off this hiker, this ranger and this hiker. So because the hiker is first, the ranger goes right there. So we're going to go ahead and go 2. He'll move over here and acquire this sun. This is the current state of play. They can't get this anymore unless my back hiker uses that give sun thing out, so I don't have to worry about this too much. I have a lot of control over that. There is 1 water. The water would get rid of wilds. I like wilds. I might want to get wilds, so that constrains my choices, but it's just another little thing to manage. So yeah, you see, casual game, fast decisions, but there's a lot to think about if you really want to do well in this game. All right, so we are going to go over here. We're going to get this resource, take that away from the bot, that is, and to use that, we're going to exchange this with the empty canteen for 1 wild card. I'm back. Dad jokes, baby. All day dad jokes. That is what they played through. It's all about. Let's move over here. Block this tent. Oh, I'm busy over here. This is closed. You can't come in here. But what if I want to come in here? Well, you're going to have to set up camp with me and have some marshmallows. Should I? No, I'm not going to camp with you, you silly goose. We're going to move over here. I am going to give you some sunshine, though. You want some sunshine? Oh, that is so nice of you. Thank you so much. So that goes to the card. So I actually don't know the order of operations. I imagine you do this first and then the card triggers. So let's just do that. So I'm going to take an open spot. The open spot is going to be to buy a park card, and that is going to be this. So we have to spend a mountain, which I have. I get a sun discount, but I do have to spend 4 more resources, of which I have plenty. So going to spend that much to buy this Arches National Park, which will fit right in to the set that I'm building over here. So that is going to be extra points for me because of that year-end goal. And I also get to change in a resource for a wild because I fed the bison. The bison poops out an owl again. Who? Where did I come from? Buffalo moves over here. I haven't been doing this, but when you move the buffalo to the beginning, you cycle the gear a little bit. I'm not going to do that. Doesn't really matter for this game because we're getting new gear anyway. And, wow, can I afford that? And so this does fire off. And I move the active ranger to the site before the trail end. So this is a unique corner case. This was because of a wildlife tile that I gave this one a sun. They didn't do it on their own. So there is no active ranger. And the wildlife rules do not have anything written for solo. So I'm just going to have to make it up. Well, first of all, I'm going to get another card. The back ranger moves to your closest hiker down the trail. Never mind. Discard one of your canteens. Never mind. I actually don't mind either of those effects, at least at this end game point. And just for argument's sake, it actually does matter because it would open up this forest. But I'm going to just move that back ranger there for reasons. Clarification, welcome, if anybody wants to give it. And so I did get another one of these Euro cards, 1 per wild in my supply at the end of the game. I never like these types of goals because it means like don't play, just kind of sit on your resources. I know the theory is like, well, manage them, but that's not managing, it's just sitting there. Whatever, I will see if I can save at least a couple in my supply. All right, so I'm going to use my campfire. When I use my campfire, I can fill a canteen, which is going to be, speaking of wilds, let's get another wild in there. I'm going to trade one of my sons for a wild. I'm going to camp over here. I didn't like the smell of him. You look much finer. Oh, you honor me with your presence, sir. I'm going to take this water and 2 more. One of those waters is going to go here. I'm going to trade this wild for a nice point scoring picture. Oh, look at that. Canoeist. Love that. All right, so I've guaranteed that the bot will end the game. Just a matter of where. They end the game on the 2 space. They're going to go here. They're going to discard the middle card. Good. That is not one that I was interested in. And this is not so good. They're going to commandeer my camera. If I wanted it, I should have landed there first. All right, so I'm not going to mess with it. Let's go ahead and just visit the park right here. 4 is greater than 2, so I'm going to go ahead and take the only 2 that I have. And there's 3 waters. I get a 1 water discount and buy the North Cascades National Park. At this point, the last card doesn't really matter. They are going to occupy that right there. And the last hiker has to choose where to go. Can't afford any parks anymore. No real point in buying gear. I can get this first player token back. Nice point at the end. That is the end of the game. 9, 18, 27 for this. I got 4 points from all the suns. 4, 8, 12. So for every 3, that makes 4 points. This one, whatever. Managed to score with this one. So I got 1, 2, 3. It's why I wanted this last one at the end for 2. and I get 4 points for this one. 2 sets, 3 points right here, 1. The total is 42. And for the solo scoring for the Nightfall expansion, which is the improved scoring, 35 is you made memories that last a lifetime. Congrats. So I sincerely hope that this playthrough has given you everything you need to know about parks, whether it is a good fit for your collection. If you enjoyed the playthrough, please go ahead and leave a comment below, like the video, subscribe, support the One Stop Co-op Shop and all that we do so that we can continue to support you. This is Jason with the One Stop Co-op Shop. We'll see you at the next stop.